By
But
the way, I was the Undertaker's very first match in the WWF.
oh, really?
Yes, just to give you the background on that. So it's the TV taping the Tuesday before the Thanksgiving Survivor Series. So he's making his debut officially at the Survivor Series on Thanksgiving. But we're doing a TV taping on Tuesday that airs Saturday. So I wrestled him prior to his official debut.
Was this when he was Kane the Undertaker?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Didn't have a piece of ink on him. And that night, it was Tuesday. I worked with him. Monday was here in Tampa. I live outside of Tampa, Florida. So Tampa. It was the evening, unfortunately, that the young man got his neck broken. Chuck Austin. And that evening, I went back to the hotel room and talk about freak accidents, by the way. But so I went back to the hotel room and I had known Taker from the telephone with Cactus being over at my house watching pay-per-views. We spoke on the telephone a couple of times. So I see him at the front desk. He's not hard to miss. He's legitimately almost 7 foot tall. You have to be blind not to see him. So I just walk over. I said, "Hey, Mark," and he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, I'm Sonny Cactus's friend." He goes, "Oh, how you been?" I said, "Are you here to work?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "But they don't have a room." I had two king size bed in my room, so I give him one. And we're talking about, him coming into the company, and I don't know what, we're just generally talking, just general talking, really. But I don't think he had any idea where his character. I don't even know if he knew what his character was, frankly, because he didn't mention it. And then the next day, I saw on the board I was working with Undertaker, and had to figure out who that was. And I just he was with Brother Love, and it's back with the flower from the lapel. Yeah, Kane the Under. Yes, they introduced him as Kane the Undertaker.
And to see the legacy that he's, continued to leave behind 30 years later, it's amazing and astounding, you know.
It really is. When you think about the modern era of wrestling, to
Hmm.
be able to maintain and his level of excellence, his level of athleticism at his size. When he threw, if you go back and you Google, not Google, go to YouTube, look up Undertaker versus Sonny Blaze, you'll see the match. I don't know that if that was the first one or a later one, but when he does the flying clothesline, he almost clears me. He has to reach back and grab me by the throat. It's not a clothesline anymore. Um, I'm 5'11", he's 6. There's legitimately 1 foot
He's
difference in our
tall. He's
height.
huge.
Oh, and when he did that walking on the top rope from a different camera angle, you can see me saying, "Wow!" I was just like, I couldn't believe this. Um, just amazing, and I enjoyed it. I then in the locker rooms, here he is, and again, Bob Smith's magazines used to like they would make me the number two contender for some I don't know ABC belt or this, just to keep my name in there. And every now and then I'd be like the champion somewhere, and I never even wrestled for that group.
Hmm.
And I'd walk in, and there's Mark reading it, excuse me, Taker, and he'd go, "Hey, champ," and just like little ribbings, and it was kind of cool, And then to see all these years later, it, when they call him the phenom, that's accurate. He is the phenom.
And he also is a locker room leader too, you know.
Well, that happened much later on, but yeah, you could see where that would happen,
Hmm.
because he was sane. He wasn't selfish. He never struck me. He came. He was extremely professional, but he was still young. We're talking about I was what 25, and these guys are a year younger than I am. So they're in their early mid 20s, and they've already been around for a few years. And but he would come. He was well prepared. He'd have his gear. He, he was just professional and never late. Always one of the first ones to arrive. He was always there before I was, and I was usually early. So I didn't. I couldn't afford to be late.